Hey guys, it's Mr. C here with your volume of prisms lesson. So this is a quick, easy lesson because I think you guys have already seen stuff like this before when you were in elementary school. But I want to go over this with you again because it's very, very important. So let's get right to it, okay? So the volume of any prism is the product of the area of its base and its height. So essentially what we do on a 3D figure like this, we find the area of the bottom, and then we multiply it by the height, and it's going to take up the volume, the inside of the entire three-dimensional figure. Okay, so we use this formula: volume equals big B, which stands for the area of the base, so length times width, times the height. You'll see it presented like this on your star chart: volume equals big B times H. But I want you to also remember that this formula really means this: volume equals the length times the width times the height. Okay? So we got to talk about what makes something a prism. Well, a prism has to be a three-dimensional figure, and it has two parallel bases that are congruent figures. A rectangular prism, the bases are congruent rectangles. To review some volume, the amount of space inside a 3D figure is what volume is. And it's measured in cubic units, written using the units abbreviation and an exponent of 3. Well, think about it. If we use our formula length times width times height, and our length is given in inches, our width is given in inches, and our height is given in inches, really what we're doing here is we're taking inches times inches times inches. Well, that's a little confusing to look at, but remember what we talked about with area. Just pretend like there's some numbers here. If I had 3 times 3 times 3, I would say that that's my base number of 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3. Well, look at our inches here. Inches times inches times inches. Well, that would just be inches cubed. All right? So let's take a look and let's find the volume of this prism together, and then I'll let you guys try some harder ones on your own. So what's the name of our shape here? Well, I know that this is a rectangular prism. What's my formula? Well, my formula is volume equals big B times H. The shape of my base is a rectangle. And the formula to find the area of the base is going to be big B equals length, times width. Okay, so now we just have to substitute and solve. So to find the area of my base, I could do base equals length times width. Base equals 6 inches times width of 3 inches. Let me bring this up here. Oh. Today's episode of Mr. C Fights Technology. There we go. And then we'll have the area of our base is equal to 18 inches squared. Sorry, that little caret right there shows an exponent of 2. I guess I could just draw it for you. That would be smarter. There we go. Now we can do our volume formula. Volume equals area of the base times height. So today we've got volume equals, the base is, we said 18 inches squared. I'll just leave 18 for now, times the height of 5 inches. So that is going to give me a grand total for this volume of 90 inches cubed. Okay, now using this two-step formula like this makes it a little bit trickier for us to see how we get inches cubed. Well, we essentially in this took inches squared, which is inches times inches, times one more inch. So really what this is saying is inches times inches, and we've got this leftover times inches again. So that would give us inches cubed. I want to show you one more way to solve this. If you use this alternative equation, you can kind of knock it out in one step here. Okay, so if we do volume equals length times width times height, remember, always write that formula down. It's very important. If I do 6 times 3 times 5, I'll end up getting 18 times 5, like we did before. And I'll end up getting a volume that equals 90. And we took inches times inches times inches. So that's going to be inches cubed. So either way, you get the same thing. When I was a kid, I had this formula, and it really helped me a lot because I could never remember what the big B was. You do have to be responsible now because you're way smarter than I was when I was a kid. You have to know that the big B means the area of the base. But if you're super duper smart and you want to learn this equation for an alternative for volume of rectangular prisms, that would be wise as well. All right, guys. There's some other problems here. You can check the key online to see if you're correct. I wanted to get this video out before school started. So have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we will gladly help you out, okay?